Good day, students. I'm bringing the analysis of a poem to you as another example. And I've tried to look at the poem and at the same time provide you with some analysis. So here is the poem. A brief reading of it will give you a sense of the theme and the issue addressed, Harlem, by Langston Hughes. What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun? Or fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat? Or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load. Or does it explode? Now, the first thing you need to do with the poem is to identify what the poem is addressing. Once you could identify what the poem is addressing, you're on your way to forming your thesis statement. And one way of doing this is for you to think in terms of the theme addressed in the poem. And so maybe there is a blank space for you to fill. And so the examples here, they say, the poem addresses something. And the second one, I've given you a very familiar theme that you've worked with, and this is the theme of love. But now, look at the one above it. It says the poem addresses the theme of love. And you could reduce it now to say that the poem addresses love. Mind you, we're not speaking about this poem, but I'm doing this so that you could grasp it from the perspective of a theme. With the first poem we did, we said the poem is about two women engaged in lovemaking. Then we did a poem, we said it considers responses to anger. So no one answer is going to fit for any poem and every poem. Each poem is unique. And so Langston Hughes' Harlem captures the despair of humans who face situations of hopelessness. And there is my thesis statement. I may vary it a little bit, but don't worry too much. So, this is my introductory paragraph. The poem Harlem by Langston Hughes focuses on the loss of hope. Written during the Harlem Renaissance, the 1920s. It was written during, so I need to fix here, the Renaissance during the 1920s when the African American artists were becoming recognized. Therefore, this poem beautifully captures the despair experienced by Black persons who seldomly saw their dreams come to fruition. The poem, written in free verse, functions as a lamentation. So even though I've changed my thesis a little bit, it's the same thing. Everybody, that's why I'm saying individual students, give me your individual thesis statements. There's no one correct answer here, but there are correct answers and there are wrong ones. So let's hurry on. We look at how devices deliver. So paragraph 2, a number of interconnected literary devices deliver meaning in this poem. The first visual image invites readers to compare the deferred dream with a raisin in the sun. Notice how I have used quotation marks. I haven't given page number because this poem is all on one page and we look at it and we see it. To continue, this comparison brings to mind a before and after effect. So this is a special effect, so I put it in quotation marks. And then I explain the dream that was once full of promise has become shriveled. And so, full of promise before, after, shriveled. The dream is much reduced in size and is no longer succulent. Both the image and the simile are extraordinary and deliver meaning well. So, in that one paragraph there, I've addressed the type of image, it's visual, and I've also addressed the simile. Time is running out. Following this image in close succession is another. However, this image is a tactile one and it is somewhat distasteful. It's the image of a life sore that festers and runs. It's quite repulsive, but it captures the intense revulsion felt by the persona whose deferred dream is too painful to bear. The rhetorical question adds further by probing the simile. I'm skipping. Each rhetorical question addresses a worst possible state of the deferred dream. The image is now olfactory, where the dream is compared with obnoxious rotting meat. And I leave the rest for you, it's all there. A gustatory image follows, but this too is unpleasant. The loss of hope is compared with a cake that is too sweet. Eating the cake makes one ill. There is certainly no enjoyment nor satisfaction. Tactile image of a dream sagging like a heavy load conveys an understanding of the dream becoming something that is too difficult to carry. The dream has become something that weighs you down, impeding progress. I have a spelling error here. The comparison forged between the dream and the load is unique. The simile is original and most apt. I'm hurrying on. A series of rhetorical questions probe the issue of what happens to the deferred dream. In addition to this, each rhetorical question serves to probe the issue in a different but deeper way. At the end of the poem, the last question is combined with the oral image of a shattering of things. And here's my conclusion. Langston Hughes' poem, Harlem, demonstrates, so help me, I'm going to take out the is. It demonstrates outstanding craftsmanship. It is finely sculpted and delivered with 11 brief lines. And these lines embody a wide range of images combined with similes and rhetorical questions. This poem is truly a work of art.